Jason Nathanson, entertainment reporter for ABC News. Good morning, Jason.
Hey, good morning.
First, let's start with Roseanne. What's going on with Roseanne?
Roseanne gave another interview to her friend Rabbi Shmuley Botiak and his podcast, and this is the one where a couple weeks ago it came out that she had talked to him right after she got fired from ABC, and she was very tearful, very remorseful, and said that she didn't mean what everybody said that she meant. Now this is a new interview, which I guess was taped last week, in which she said that she's gotten a lot of offers to come back to TV. She didn't specify exactly what offers they were, but she said, inside every bad thing is a good thing waiting to happen, and I feel very excited because I've already been offered so many things, and I almost already accepted one good offer to go back on TV, and I might do it, but we'll see. Now, when she says go back on TV, I assume she means, back on TV and not on some web series somewhere on YouTube or something like that, something mainstream. But I don't know. So we'll see if she actually does have another job. She also says she has not apologized yet to Valerie Jarrett, but she still plans to if she has to find the right words. And she also said that when it came to this new spinoff that ABC is doing starring John Goodman called The Connors, that she signed off and she basically gave it to them for free and said, look, I'm asking for nothing in return. That's my penance for everything.
Normally, in a situation like this, wouldn't a network, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, CBS, NBC, wouldn't they float an idea like we're cutting a deal with Roseanne to sort of see the backlash? It's awful strange that she's out in front on this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't. She's still, I would think, a little bit toxic. So I don't know. I honestly don't know who's talking to her.
Right.
I mean, I've asked a lot of people, and trying to float this out here. So for her to say that, she's also very popular. I think a lot of people did see that when there was a backlash, there was still also a lot of support for her. But anything that goes, any company that goes with her, you're going to immediately be very polarizing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's an interesting thing.
Yeah. Quickly, while we have you, the movies this weekend. Anything of interest happened this weekend?
Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom was number one for a second straight weekend. It's now at about $930 million worldwide. It's going to pass $1 billion over the next week. It's been out for a couple weeks now here in the U.S. and then overseas. Incredibles 2 also had a very good weekend, $45 million. It's now the second highest grossing Pixar film of all time and the third biggest animated feature ever of all time.
All right.
So some good news there.
Yeah, and then finally, more bad news for FM music radio stations. What's this story about Drake and Spotify?
Drake shattered not just Spotify, but now we're learning that it's basically every streaming record since he released his album Scorpion on Friday. He shattered the Spotify one-day global record for album streams, and not just beat it. I mean, destroyed it. He had 132 million streams just on Friday alone. That's 50 million more streams than the previous record set by Post Malone just a week ago. And on Apple Music, it's even bigger. 170 million streams. The previous best was 89 million streams, and that was Drake last year. So, I mean, it's just insane. Now, it's has to do with people liking Drake and liking his music and wanting to listen to it, but also it's about the change in which we're listening to music.
Right.
Because, more people are signed up for Apple Music a year ago or than they were a year ago today. More people are listening on these services than they were a year ago.
Yeah, interesting. We don't have time, but we get into whether or not just pay $1 or $1.27 and listen to it as much as you want, or stream it through Spotify or Pandora or Apple Music, but that's a whole other world. All right. Jason Nathanson, ABC News correspondent. Have a good week. Thanks, Jason.